We have looked at how to raise a service contract invoice, but if you need to check or edit the invoicing options, you will need to access the service contract. To do this, go to the Customer module and select Contracts, then click on the contract number to view and edit the contract, or click the Edit button in the action tray. Scroll down and click the Recurring Invoice Schedule drop-down on the left. This section of the contract shows how invoicing is set up. If you do make edits here, you would then need to revise the contract when completed, and you may want to print the contract to save and send to your customer. You have the following options available for the recurring invoices. Not required if no recurring invoices are to be used and you are charging for the service jobs when they are completed. Fixed price is where you can set a fixed value for each invoice regardless of the equipment on the contract, or charge per equipment where you can set invoice values per each item of equipment. You can select if the invoices are produced in arrears or in advance of the periods. The invoice account number defaults to the customer set on the contract, but you can overwrite this. This allows you to invoice a third party for the work, for instance if you are invoicing a finance company. You then have the first invoice date for the date which the first invoice should be produced. Site ID and invoice to site ID should only be used if you want to address the invoices to a site and not the main customer account. When the option is fixed price, you must then enter a value for the first invoice and the next invoice. This is for the recurring charges. You must then set the invoice frequency from the drop-down options and enter the customer purchase order number in the order reference field. If the payment terms are already populated, this is set as the default on the customer account, but you can amend it if required. The order reference expiry date allows you to set the date which the customer's purchase order expires, and the uplift field allows you to set a percentage which you expect to uplift the contract by when you renew it. If you use the charge per equipment option, you must still set the same details as already mentioned. However, in the equipment and services section, you must populate the invoice price for each individual piece of equipment. Scroll up if needed to see the invoice prices per equipment. The values entered here will then be used to calculate the total invoice value for the contract. If you change any of these details, you can click to revise the contract. This will give you a confirmation pop-up to confirm you want to update the contract. You will then be taken to a review page where you can review the details before confirming the changes. If you need to change anything, click the Cancel button, which will take you back to the Edit Contract page, or click the Confirm option. The revised contract will be produced as either a PDF copy or as an automated email to your customer, dependent on the settings for that customer in the Communications Centre.